Hey everybody, this is the second part of a 3-video guide to the Iron Rig DLC for Dredge. We're checking in with the scientist here for a refresher on what we need to do, which is of course collect 4 species of new fish in the Gale Cliffs region, as well as pick up a canister of the dark black oily material that has come from the deep. What you're going to see here throughout most of this video is I'm going to just be kind of clipping in the new species catches, the new aberration catches, any upgrades, a little bit of dredging. I'm just going to dredge a couple Iron Haven boxes, but it's not anything really new that is worth capturing here for the guide. Watch out for those little rocks. Again, another reminder, I am playing on passive mode. That's why I'm playing at 2:57 in the morning and not getting attacked by the giant one-eyed serpent in Gale Cliffs. So one of the things about being in this black oily substance is you do get the dark splashes, but you also sometimes get that game element where something creeps onto your cargo and infects one of your catches. So you don't want to hold on to those infected fish. So I go ahead and try to catch a second one, and I get an aberration of this this particular fish, and then I catch the one that I need to give to the scientist. A lot of this video, like I said, is going to be me kind of catching this stuff. So I'm probably going to dip out every now and again with the commentary, because it is going to be pretty much the same game loop throughout. As I mentioned, I am in passive mode, but at any point, if you want to, you can switch to normal mode. There is one trophy that you can only get in normal mode. That is the Gleaming Goliath trophy. And the way that that trophy works is if you are in normal mode and you let the panic meter get to maximum. I'm not 100% sure, or at least I don't remember how to identify when it is a high panic. All I know is you start to see like eyes in the distance. You start to see a lot more creatures and hallucinations. But in order to get the Gleaming Goliath trophy, you need to be in normal mode, be in high panic, enter one of these dark puddles, and hallucinate a giant puddle monster. Basically looks like a very large blobby octopus, tentacles, big blobby face, and then use the banish ability to get rid of it. I will attempt it fairly early in video 3 and not be successful. Like, the trophy doesn't pop when I do it, and then later on I will be successful because I stay close to it and use banish. Don't run away from it. Stay close to it, use banish, and you should get the trophy for that task. Again, it can be, you can get that at any point. I get it towards the end of my gameplay, but if you're looking to knock that out, just switch to normal mode, use banish when you see that blobby tentacle creature in the dark puddle. So here we are putting in, looks like just 2 of the 4 samples. That one is a crab pot catch, and the other one is a kind of like a giant shelled mollusk creature that we'll catch in the open inlet of the Gale Cliffs there. So here, right now we're using a shallow and coastal upgraded rod that we were given. So what I would suggest is that you use the 3 upgraded rods when you can afford them and when you can get them. You're going to need the volcanic slash, I don't remember exactly. So this one's Abyssal, Hadal, and Oceanic. So that one we're going to install. That's going to take care of what we need to catch in the open ocean, which we don't actually need to go into the open ocean and catch anything. Thank goodness, because it's hard to find fish in the open ocean. But that will take care of the Stellar Basin, basically, and anywhere else where we need to catch Abyssal or Hadal. This one, Volcanic and Shallow, and then the Mangrove and Coastal. So you get the one that we just installed and these 2 on the bottom here, and you will be set to catch everything you need to catch. If you are playing with the Pale Reach DLC installed, you want to hold on to one of those ice reels, just in case you want to go down to that area. But as I've mentioned before, the Pale Reach does not need to be part of your gameplay during the Iron Rig DLC. They are separate. The only thing you can do is you can go down there and catch the exotic shark from the Pale Reach if you want to try to catch that exotic aberration. So as we're working on getting some of these new Tier 2 Tech Lab little pieces, again, each of these increase the speed or efficiency of each kind of task that you need to complete. Your traveling speed, your reverse speed, your fishing speed, your dredging speed, your trawl net efficiency, and a heat sink for when you use that boost ability. I believe I mentioned this in the first video. I didn't really feel like there was a considerable amount of an upgrade using any of these pieces, but they're, affordable. If you got room in your cargo, why not? They each take up one tiny little cell. So I went ahead and bought all of them. I did this because I was curious, if I bought everything, would there be a third tier that would just appear once you fill this out? And there isn't. Everything you see when you open up these 3 kind of vendors, I guess you could call them, is what you get. You get 4 tiers in the factory, 2 tiers in the foundry, and the tech lab. And that's really all you have to worry about. There are a couple other resources, shops, whatever you want to call them, that are going to open up further into the game, and each of them only have 1 tier. We have the generator, we have the scientist, the science lab, but there's 2 more, and one of them is going to allow you to upgrade your hull to the 5th tier. Here we're checking the crab pot, and we got our aberrated sea cucumber. This is again, this was surrounded by a dark puddle before I cleaned it all up. So everything you need to find, every species of fish that's in this game has 1 aberration and 1 normal version, which is nice. You don't have to figure out which aberration you didn't get. But because that's oceanic, and because I'm in the middle of the ocean, you can't really see where I am. You don't need to sweat it. It's whatever region it's in, just look through each of the 3 or 4 dark puddles, and you will be able to find everything that you need. And of course, if you're struggling to find that aberration, you can always use atrophy. It is it's a method that I kind of forgot about for the first, I would say, maybe 70% of my gameplay here, as I was just playing along and checking off boxes. I didn't really think to speed things up by using atrophy to get the aberrations. Like, I need this aberration here. We actually haven't. Okay, that is our first Nautilus as well, so that's good. So as I mentioned, the game loop is pretty dependable. It's pretty much what is to be expected as you play through. So I'm just gonna quickly go through the trophies, and then we'll probably let the gameplay play out on its own without commentary for a little bit here. So you need to catch all known species of fish in the Iron Rig for the Ancient Angler trophy. I did not tally up exactly how many, but it is basically about 5, maybe 6 new species per region, per the 5 regions: the Maros, Gale Cliff, Stellar Basin, Twisted Shard, or whatever the heck the thing is called, Twisted Strand, Twisted Shard, I always forget the name, and the Devil's Spine. So altogether, probably about 20 new species. Each species has 1 aberration. There is no new species that doesn't have any, and there's no new species that doesn't have multiple. They also gave aberrations to all 5 of the exotic fish, including the shark from the Pale Reach, as well as 1 very special exotic aberration that does not have a non-aberrated version. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the 3rd video. And yet again, we have turned in the 4 samples to the scientist from the Gale Cliffs, which moves the story progression along a little bit. And now, what do you know, but the crack has moved on to the Stellar Basin, and we're going to have to go to the Stellar Basin, collect more dark material, and 4 or 5 more species of fish to give to the scientists to study. Again, at this point, you're going to want to get the upgraded winch that's down there. Okay, it is only 4. You want something that has Hadal and Abyssal and Oceanic. You should already have, because you needed Oceanic for the Gale Cliffs, I believe, if not the Maros. Using a little bit of extra material here to get rid of the dark splash, as well as use one of these Iron Haven boxes that we have. And then, you don't have to get it now, but eventually you're going to want to swap out the volcanic plus, whether it's coastal or shallow, and the mangrove and shallow or coastal, whichever one it is, those 2 upgraded rods, you want to put those in when you can, and then that way you'll be set up for the rest of your fishing needs. And of course, always carry a crab pot with you, because every single region that you go into, you're going to have to collect one crab pot species. And each of those crab pot species have one aberration as well. Here we're going, well, we don't have the Iron Haven box for it, but we're going to go ahead and start working on getting those other 2 rods that we need. And whenever possible, I always use the dark canisters. Put those out because you can only hold on to 5 at a time. Once you fill up 5, I don't think it fills up more for you. So make sure that you're depositing those, you're spending those, so you can get up to 10 canisters for that other trophy. I know we haven't really gone through many of these trophies, so let's go down the list real quickly here. So we mentioned Ancient Angler. Primordial Deviations is to catch all the aberrations, excluding the exotics. So again, for every new species of fish, which I'm going to guess is about 20 new species, you need to catch 1 aberration of each species. That's what they added. You do not need to worry about the exotic aberrations for this trophy. You just need to catch 1 of those exotic aberrations. In the 3rd video, you're going to be able to see me catch all 5, I'm sorry, all 6, actually, of the exotic aberrations. So we'll show you that, but you only need to catch 1 of those, and we'll talk about how to do that when we get to the 3rd video, because there's a specific bait that you can't create until you get to tier 4 of the factory here. So if you get to tier 4 before you get to the 3rd video, then we can certainly I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but we'll talk about that later. The missing shipment is to deliver the missing shipment to the rig. That is basically how the story begins for this DLC. That is when you deliver the first 2 Iron Haven boxes to the foreman, and you start getting these little resources and kind of vendors running. The Iron Ruin is to override the rig's defenses. That is a story trophy. That will be happening, I believe, by the end of this video. We need to visit an old friend from the base game, and we'll be getting to that fairly soon, I believe, in this video. The rig architect is build all levels of all buildings on the rig. I'm pretty sure I've gone over this already in the first video, but as you can see, the factory has 4 tiers. The tech lab has 2 tiers, and the foundry has 2 tiers as well. So those 6, once you reach those 6 levels of these vendors, you will get the rig architect trophy. Chances are tier 4 of the factory is the last one you'll get, but if you don't bother moving the foundry up to tier 2 or the tech lab as well, then maybe that will be your last one as well, but just keep that in mind. Remedial apparatus is to equip the siphon trawler. We did that at the end of the first video. The siphon trawler is there on the upper left of the middle part of the cargo. That is what collects the dark materials and puts them into canisters. You'll need to do that once you head over to the Gale Cliffs region. That is one of the things you'll need to do for the scientist. As you can see, tier 2 here on the foundry, I haven't really talked about this. So you can make upgrade materials using a box and a little bit of money, but I didn't find that very useful. You can also use your upgraded materials to make a Iron Haven crate. So if you're running out of upgraded materials in order to make the Iron Haven crates, I don't see why you would spend an Iron Haven crate to make the materials. It just doesn't add up. Of course, I'm going through the encyclopedia every once in a while here. You see that we are at 191 of 230. You also need to consider the By the end, in order to get all the trophies, you need to be at 225 of 230. The last 5 would be the exotic aberrations that you are not required to catch for any trophy. As long as you catch 1 exotic aberration, then you may end up having about 5 left. But once you hit 225, you should be good to go. You should have all the aberrations that you need to catch, and all the species should have been already caught at that point as well. Here's the exotic aberrations. And again, in order to catch any of those, especially if you've already caught all 4 of the exotic aberrations from the base game, if you've caught the exotic aberration from the Pale Reach already in your gameplay, you're not going to be able to find that. If you have one of those exotic fish still left over in your normal gameplay, I imagine you could probably go to it, use Atrophy, and instantly get this trophy. There is the Pale Reach exotic aberration there. Next to it is a one fish that is only an exotic aberration. So I was indicating there that we have to head back to the Stellar Basin. As we do that, let's discuss some more of the trophies as we pick up our first new species in that region. So next is the Dark Custodian. That is to collect 10 dark canisters in total. I think we are probably at about 6 or 7. I know we collected 4 and spent a bunch of them. Right now we have 3 on day 172. I know by day 176 is when I get the trophy. Once you collect your 10th full dark canister, you will get Dark Custodian. The last 5 trophies. Hull Industrial, upgrade to the 5th tier hull. We will be showing that in this video in a little bit. It is kind of part of the story. Once you hit, I believe it's once you collect all species that you need to collect from the Stellar Basin, there will be a new vendor on the rig, and it will allow you to upgrade your cargo hull to the 5th and final level. You do not need the upgrade materials that you normally use. You will just need, I believe it's only 1, but maybe 2 Ironhaven crates and $2,500. As I mentioned in the first video, I've been playing this game for a long time. I've played through both DLCs. I've played through all of the patches and the new additional aberrations that they added. So I have a lot of money. I got about 25,000 in cash when I started this DLC. So money is not an issue. But if you are in the middle of playing, or if you haven't really spent a lot of time collecting and selling fish, that kind of cash might not be something that is readily available to you. And if it isn't, just put this part of the game away and catch a bunch of fish and sell it to the traveling merchant. Feel free to increase your wallet before you continue the gameplay here. The exotic exemplar is to catch one of the exotic aberrations, as we had just discussed. Oh, so here you see this giant thing in the water. I don't remember if this is where I placed the marker or if it was in the first video. I'm pretty sure it's here. This is the first time I see it. I thought that was an exotic aberration. It was the first time I had seen something that large swimming in this area. This is, of course, in the Stellar Basin area. So I tried to remove some of the dark materials, see if I could see it better, and I seemed to have lost it. I do place a marker here to remind myself this is where I saw it in the end, and I will show it in the third video. But in the end, it is one of those kind of environmental, like, you know, little scenes. As sometimes you see dolphins cresting in the water, or a humpback whale, or other creatures. Sometimes you hear monkeys in the background, or birds, things like that. It is just one of those things they added in the patch that came, I believe, right before the Pale Reach, or part of the Pale Reach DLC patch, where they added just some more environmental, just fun little things to see. It's one of those giant, kind of pale sharks. It's one of the ones you can catch in Dave the Diver in the frozen region, like that giant mammoth. I forget what the name of it is, but it's a name that reminds me of something. I can't remember what it reminds me of, but it's one of those kind of like light gray with spots. And again, like I said, in the third video, I will show you a clearer picture of it swimming in the water. So here we've been tasked to visit the researcher. The scientist has told us to pay her a visit. Was it the scientist or was it the foreman? I don't remember. But either way, we are talking to her about helping us save the rig. So she's going to give us something. It's not going to be something that's going to end up in our cargo or storage. Just once you're done talking to her, make sure that you visit the foreman, and that will move the story along. Alright, and let's just bang out the last 3 trophies here. Enhanced abilities was to upgrade all 3 basic abilities. That was the light source upgrade, the telescope upgrade, and the foghorn upgrade. Once you do all 3 of those in Tier 1 of the Tech Lab, you'll get the enhanced abilities. Shadowed Splashes is to have 5 dark splashes in your inventory. We got that in the first video. Those tiny little 1-cell, little black, oily icons that sit in your cargo that you get from being next to one of those bubbles that burst in the dark, oily material. Once you have 5 of those in your cargo, you will get Shadowed Splashes. And lastly, the Gleaming Goliath, as I mentioned before, is to evade that which stalks the disturbed sediment. If you are playing in normal mode and your panic is high and you're in the dark, oily areas, you may see a blobby, tentacled creature. If you use Banish to get rid of that creature, you should get the Gleaming Goliath. Again, you will see that in the third video. As I said before, I'm not going to talk too much. Now here we are 30 minutes into the video, of the 50-minute video, and I haven't stopped talking pretty much. But we're going to let this play out a little bit. I think we're going to see some more of the story. I do need to go catch the cute little crab pot creature. Like the cutest little thing. One of the, I would say probably the cutest new species that they put in the game. But yeah, we'll let this play out, and then we're going to soon be into progressing the story to the point where we can upgrade our hull to the 5th tier and moving the story along. And here we are using the researcher's information, and we'll let this play out and see what happens. there's the trophy video clip for Dark Custodian. I, for some reason, edited out the capture that I was playing, but it lined up quite nicely with the capture that I did have in here, so there you go. So that was for getting the 10th dark canister full in your inventory. Again, you can only hold on to 5 at a time, so make sure that you're spending those 5 and keep collecting until you get 10. Once you reach 10 dark canisters, you're honestly not going to need much more than that for the rest of the game. So you could probably uninstall it if you wanted to use a different trawl net or winch or something like that. But I think I keep it on there for most of the game. We're going to turn this one in, this little cute little snail guy, sea slug. And that is going to move the story on a little bit. So now that we have the fleet services, we're going to add a Iron Haven crate to it, and that is going to allow us to finally get the 5th tier hull upgrade that we've been talking about. We head right into it. As you can see, it's 2 Iron Haven crates and $2,500, and that's all you need to do to spend to get that upgrade and to get the trophy. There's Hull Industrial, and I'm going to show off what the cargo hull looks like now. So now we have everything opened up and done here. We have that defenses tier, which again is only 1 tier. See, they moved everything around, but it's definitely roomy, and you should end up not really running into any issues with collecting the small amounts of fish that you need to collect. So again, we need to get the factory up to tier 4, but the foundry and tech lab are already to tier 2. That is the only further upgrading we need to do to get that trophy. And we will be doing that later. Of course, we need to get our samples. So 4 samples from the is this Twisted Strand? I believe that's where we're heading next. Yeah, Twisted Strand. Okay. Of course, one of those is a crab pot catch right there. And then I believe one of those is shallow and the other 2 are mangrove. So make sure if you don't have those already installed, I do. I believe I do. What am I looking at here for? For some reason I'm looking at this. I guess I was considering buying something else here. Oh, we're going to go ahead and upgrade to tier 3. Let's quickly, may as well take a look at that and talk about it real quick. Tier 3 is some small little resources. The Soothing Tea, this repairs your crab pots without going to the Traveling Merchant. You can just use that to fix any crab pot and make it fresh and new. And then the repair kit on the left-hand side there repairs up to 2 damaged areas on your boat. The Soothing Tea helps bring down your panic. Of course, we've been playing on passive mode this whole time, so we don't really need it. I believe we've already been given a little bit of that earlier. I know we were given the repair kit. So 1 more Iron Haven crate here, and we will be at our fully upgraded rig. So we'll be getting that sometime soon. And those tier 4 is the baits, the 3 different kinds of baits. There is a aberration bait, there's a instant crab bait, and the exotic bait. So those are the 3 you're going to get. We've already been given an aberration bait. So once we can access that tier, we can work on getting the exotics. Alright, we'll go back to letting this play out as we work through the Twisted Strand. It also is nice that it's so very close to the rig, so you can grab 1 or 2 of the fish, deposit them, head back, and so on and so forth.
Ah.
So a lot of stuff going on here right towards the end of this video. We have our final tier of the factory upgraded. We can now access the different baits, which will help us get an exotic aberration later. We also have progressed the story from the Twisted Strand over to the Devil's Spine area. We'll have to collect species over there. We also have a few more characters, and also we have to visit the researcher again to help with the rig. Hope this helps. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.